Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about a little something different. I'm going to share my experience with a new weight loss drug that I've been taking called Saxenda. Here's the pen. Saxenda is a weight loss drug that's been approved by the FDA and is for people who have an excess weight of a BMI that's greater than or equal to 27, or adults who are classified as obese with a BMI greater than or equal to 30. And I'll talk to you today about how I came to learn about Saxenda and how it can help someone lose weight in conjunction with a reduced calorie plan and also increased physical activity. So first and foremost, I had attempted to lose weight through various means on my own, through dieting and exercise, and was met with mixed results. Quite simply, it was just difficult to keep up with that with a busy lifestyle, having 3 kids and taking them to their extracurricular activities throughout the week, and working a full-time job, amongst other things. So um, I happened to have a regular checkup with my doctor and casually mentioned about the desire to want to lose some weight and the challenges that I had in doing so through traditional means. And she had happened to tell me about something called Mounjaro, which had shown some success in weight loss in people who were taking that medication, which had been approved by the FDA for type 2 diabetes. After conducting some research on that, I thought that would be something I'd be interested in trying, and the doctor went ahead and wrote a prescription for me for Mounjaro. And long story short there, the insurance company did not approve that because I don't have type 2 diabetes, and that is especially what the drug is for. It's not for weight loss, so um, I was slightly disappointed at the time, and I really didn't have anywhere else to turn at that point, not knowing that there were other alternatives. Until one night when I was watching NBC Nightly News and saw a segment on Wegovy, which piqued my interest that there quite possibly was an alternative injection style medication. And upon conducting some research on that, I found that Wegovy was specifically being marketed for weight loss and had been approved by the FDA specifically for weight loss. And in looking at it, I discovered that Wegovy was having some supply challenges, and they were able to keep up with the demand and getting the medication out to pharmacies for new patients. And that's when I came across Saxenda instead. And in looking through things, I found that there's slight variances in how the drug is administered. For example, with Mounjaro and Wegovy, it's a once weekly injection, where Saxenda is a once daily injection. So with that, I was able to get a prescription rewritten for Saxenda. Fortunately, there does not seem to be any supply issues with Saxenda. I came to terms knowing that I would have to do a daily injection, something that I was definitely not accustomed to having to do. And looking at how that process is done, it looked like it was no big deal. The injection can be done either in your thigh or in your stomach area. I think there are other options as well, and it seemed to be no big deal. So I went for it. So I've been using Saxenda now for 15 days, and in the rest of this video, we'll talk about my success with it to date. Essentially, how to get started, the things that you need to prepare in order to start taking Saxenda. I'll share any of the side effects that I've had so far to date. I'll also share some tips on how to save money. with Saxenda using the Saxenda Savings Program and what that all entails. And lastly, we'll get into the numbers where I will share with you how much weight I have lost so far. All right, so first and foremost, if your doctor does subscribe Saxenda to you, the first thing you should do is go to Saxenda's website and sign up for their savings program. And with that, you can pay as little as $25 a month for your subscription. There are some things you need to know about that, however, and that is in order to qualify for the discount, your doctor needs to subscribe at minimum 1 box worth of Saxenda, which amounts to 15 milliliters of the medication, ultimately equating to 5 of these pens. In quantities less than 5 of these pens, you may end up having to pay a little bit more depending on what your insurance is going to cover for you. I've had a couple of different experiences there. In my first pen, which is this one here, it cost me $75. And then my second pen, which I just picked up today, cost $35. So I don't know precisely the reason behind that. It's the same pen, the same quantity, one pen in each prescription refill. So I don't know what the deal is there in terms of the insurance covering it in two different amounts. But ultimately, my goal is to, once I get used to the medication, talk with my doctor about getting a quantity of 1 box, which will then allow me to use that Saxenda savings card, where it then should cost me no more than $25 a month. The second thing that you'll likely do when signing up for that savings card is on the Saxenda website, you can get a year's worth of Noom for free. If you're not familiar with Noom, check out the link in the video description below. It is an application where you can track your daily water intake, your daily calorie intake, and there's also a community of other users who are using Noom and are on their weight loss journey, and there is the ability to correspond with those people in a group setting and kind of encourage each other to stay the course and share your successes and your struggles. And you'll also get a lot of encouragement from Noom itself and a lot of pointers and tips to help you become successful. Okay, so before getting started with Saxenda, there are some things you should consider. You should look through the list of side effects that may come with taking Saxenda. It's all listed on their website. In addition to understanding what those are, you'll also need to procure the needles that you install on the tip of the pen in order to administer the drug. In some states, apparently, these are only available by prescription only. In other states, you can buy them from Amazon or maybe your local drugstore. For me, I bought it off of Amazon, and there is a link to this in the video description below if you want to check them out there. And basically, what these needles look like are they come with a little cover here, and it's just a little plastic tip. The needle itself is encased inside of this plastic case here, and it's very simple to install, whereby you just put it on top of the pen and screw it into place, and that exposes the needle after you take off the plastic tip cover. And very simple to remove. You just unscrew it at that point, and if you want, you can just you'll read the instructions. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Beyond that, you might want to consider the day that you want to start taking the medication in case you do experience any symptoms immediately after taking the medication. For me, I decided to start taking it on a Saturday. That way, If I did have any side effects, then I would deal with those over the weekend and not throughout the week when I was trying to go to work or something like that. The next thing that you'll want to consider is, of course, tracking your daily injections and whether or not you had any side effects for that day, and just taking general notes and a log of the administration of the medication can help you, deal with your side effects if you have any, and also gives you a good running log that you can share with your doctor whenever you go in and check in with them. And in that way, you can understand whether or not your side effects started off severely and then diminished over time or anything like that. So I would highly encourage that. I personally am using a privacy first based application called Skiff. It's fully end-to-end encrypted, unlike something like Google Docs. So I know that the information that I am storing is completely private and private to me only. If you're interested in checking out something like Skiff, check out the link in the video description below and sign up. It's completely free. All right, now getting into the pen, what I want to show you here is when you first get your pen and it has not yet been used, you'll notice that there's this little clear window here, and that is exactly where all of the medication is. It's dispensed just from here, and of course, as I showed you a little bit earlier, the tip or the needle tips get screwed on right on top of this. Now, as you start taking the medication, at least with Saxenda, you're going to start with a 0.6 milligrams. And you'll do that every day for 1 week, followed by the next week at 1.2, next week at 1.8, and then your last week at 2.4. I'm sorry. Actually, you then go to the full dose, which is 3. All right. As you start administering the medication, you'll notice that over time, this little piston in here pushes upward to dispense the medication out. I point that out because you clearly can't see that when the pen is brand new, but ultimately that's how it works. When you inject the needle into your skin and you depress the button, it advances the medication up. And you can see this pen here is almost empty, which is why I went and got another one today. All right, with that, let me go ahead and share with you how things have been going with me so far. I'm going to refer to my log that I document every day using Skiff. I will show you what I've done here in just a second in a screen share so you can see exactly how I am tracking my daily injections. But first, I kind of want to go through about day 1 through 5, kind of let you know how I was feeling throughout taking the medication. Uh, for me, I would say the only side effect that I've really had has maybe been a slight headache throughout the course of the last 15 days that I've been taking this medication. I really haven't experienced any of the other common side effects that have been listed, including nausea. And right now, up to date, I am through the 1.2 milligram injection, so that's through week 2. And other than that, I definitely can tell that the medication is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It certainly suppresses my hunger. I definitely am getting fuller quicker when I am eating in any of my meals, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I feel satisfied with eating far less than I used to, and I feel fuller longer than I had before taking the medication. To avoid one of the common symptoms in fatigue, I am definitely cognizant of making sure that I do eat my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes I may not feel particularly hungry, but I want to avoid the fatigue aspect. So I ensure that I get my calories in for the day. And I found that that's been working very well for me. And I don't know if it's because of that I've been able to avoid the fatigue, or if I'm just not succumbing to that particular side effect. Okay, so here is my Skiff document, and in here I created a simple table with an injection date, dosage, and symptoms. Within the injection date, I can set this as a date field, and it's very easy to select the date. And inside of these columns are label columns, they're known as, and you can create your own labels. And for me, it was the amount of the dose and also symptoms that I may have experienced over time. If I started to experience, say, something like nausea, then I can include that in here, and it would create a new label. So very free to modify that as much as you'd like. Very easy to use. And also, I have a separate table here, of course, showing a weekly weigh-in. And to date, I started at 214.6 and am now down to 208. So things are clearly working for me. My waist has even gone down by a full 2 inches. And I can certainly tell that that is the case as well, just by my pants fitting a little bit differently. And I hope to continue that down in the downward path, and see how much more I can accelerate this weight loss by continuing to incorporate a daily exercise routine. One of the best things for me so far about this medication is that it doesn't make me not like food, right? I still like food, but what it is doing is it's preventing me from overeating. And I'll give you an example where after 1 week of taking the medication, the family wanted pizza, and we had ordered from one of our favorite pizza places here in town. And I decided, hey, I need to make sure I eat some greens with this as well. I made myself a nice salad, and I only ate 2 pieces of pizza. And I really didn't even get through that second piece entirely after eating one piece with a salad. I just felt full enough. I felt satisfied. There was absolutely zero desire or craving to go continue to gorge myself, because in the past I would have certainly easily eaten half of that pizza by myself. So um, that's one aspect of this medication that I've really been enjoying. Every night so far since taking this medication, after eating dinner and we're winding down for the night, not once have I sat there and thought about wanting to go get a snack or something like that. I simply just don't think about it because I am full, I feel satisfied, I feel comfortable, and it has just been absolutely wonderful in that regard. I hope this video provided some information for you. Either you're thinking about Saxenda or something similar, and you wanted to see how things were going for people out there. So I hope that this has brought some information to you that you were looking for. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do hope to continue sharing my journey along the way here, and I would appreciate it if you followed along with me. So thank you very much for watching.